Hey, beautiful Taurus. Welcome to your tarot and oracle card reading for the middle of November to the middle of December. I am Teresa, Doctor of Metaphysics and OG Mala Master, here to bring the cards to life for you. So we're going to just get a general message for what to expect, what Spirit wants you to know at this time, and then we'll get some advice cards, okay? And then we'll pull some oracle cards at the end. God, Spirit, Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and wisdom to this reading for the Taurus family and help Taurus navigate to their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you, Spirit. Wow, Taurus, you have some major blessings coming in. You know, I felt for you, there's like a big harvest, right? Like you're facing a harvest, you're going to be reaping some stuff. That's what I got for you in November in general. And so it looks like you're securing your harvest. It looks like you're overcoming your competition in some way or overcoming a conflict in some way. You are finding stability. You know, you're taking 2 steps forward and not 1 step back. You know, 2 steps forward, rooted in, 2 steps forward, rooted in, you know. So you start with the Emperor, and it's clarified with the 4 of Wands. So the Emperor is the 4 of the major arcana. This is stability, solidity, bringing it to life, literally manifesting it on the mirror, on the material plane. And the 4 of Wands, like I said, is rooting it in. It's committing also. It's making a commitment. You know, a lot of people see this as the wedding card or the buying a house card because you are committing your energy to a person or a place in doing that. You know, you could also be committing your energy to a workplace or a community or a situation as well. You know, with the Emperor, it's like you are taking ownership of your life, you know. And again, like I said, we'll get some advice cards, but it just feels really strong. You know, the Emperor with the 4 of Wands is like, I'm taking charge of my life and I feel really good about it. It's that energy of when you finally look at your finances. You know, for some people, it's hard for them to look at their finances. You finally look at your finances and you figure out where everything's at and you got a budget in place and you realize, wow, I am in a good place. You know, I'm glad I looked at that. You know, just kind of like really, really getting things in order for you. And when you do that, you have the 8 of Cups coming in, clarified by the King of Wands. The 8 of Cups is walking away from something that no longer serves. Momentum in the area of your heart's calling that pulls you away from the direction that you were going in some way. So really, this could just be making some changes based on what you learned, what you saw, what you discovered, you know, on what you've decided, really. Because, I mean, the King of Wands and the Emperor, and I'm just going to say this right now, you also have the King of Cups. 2 kings and an Emperor. You know, this is like ultimate bossing up energy. You know, beautiful Taurus, like nothing is going to stop you with the King of Wands. Yeah, nothing can stop you. You are unstoppable this month. Like you're on fire, you know? It's like the quest for fire. This is the quest for fire. There's an old movie, I loved it back in the 80s, Quest for Fire. You know, where cavemen were trying to secure fire that they could carry around with them and keep them alive, you know what I mean? Keep them warm and stuff like that, you know? And it's just like that kind of energy of like that level of importance. Whatever it is that you're doing, you've put that level of importance behind it. You know, nothing is going to stop you. It's really important for you to achieve this, and you will. And when the cavemen got the fire, it really upgraded their lives. It changed evolution, you know, of humanity. And I feel like there's such a powerful upgrade coming in for you with 2 kings. Like strong sovereignty here, you know. And the kings are masters. So you have master of your fire, which is your body, your intentions, your passion, your energy, and master of your cups, which is your emotional body, your emotional guidance system, your heart chakra, your heart space, you know, relationships, you know. Well, Eight of Cups could be walking away from a relationship with the King of Cups. This is like, I'm taking my heart back, you know. And then you have the Hanged One. And the Hanged One is clarified with the King of Cups. The King of Cups is deep, deep subconscious energy too, you know. It's going deep emotionally. I mean, if there's a relationship involved, this is a relationship that you are staying in. Because with the Eight of Cups, you're walking away from something. You're not walking away from everything, right? But if there is a relationship here, this is super, super deep emotional energy. And with the Hanged One, it's getting comfortable in that depth. The Hanged One is a very uncomfortable energy. You're hanging upside down. And in order to not be uncomfortable, you can see you're a pendulum right here. You don't want to struggle against it. You have to surrender. And that's where your stillness will allow the pendulum to stay perfectly still and balanced, right? There's emotional balance here, emotional maturity as well. And your crown chakra lighting up, receiving that the Hanged Man receives guidance, receives downloads, ultimately becomes enlightened. And the King of Cups is subconscious. It's like, what is deep down inside of you? Repressed memories, repressed feelings, that kind of thing. Like the blue lotus energy of the King of Cups is like, what have you forgotten? And you could be remembering this with the Hanged Man, going deep within yourself, And that's really interesting. I talked about the blue lotus energy with the King of Cups, and you have a purple lotus here with the Hanged One. That is really a deep energy of soul retrieval, inner child work, becoming yourself on a new level, becoming yourself. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles, clarified by the Hermit card. And the Nine of Pentacles is the Nine of Earth. And the Hermit card is the Nine of the Major Arcana. So the Hermit card represents maturity, enlightenment, self-empowerment, being alone and being okay with that, having reached the top of the mountain and being able to shine your light for other people to see, self-sufficiency, self-understanding, know thyself, right? And the Nine of Pentacles is all of that in the earth element. It is often seen as entrepreneurial energy because it is growing your garden for yourself, growing your resources on your own, being self-sufficient in this way, enjoying your own harvest, being mature and capable of becoming better at business, becoming better at creating something that's material densified here, energy like manifestation, right? But on your own, right? Self-sufficiency. So all put together with the king, with the emperor and all these kings, right? And then the Nine of Pentacles clarified by the Hermit. This could be walking away from a job and starting your own business. Walking away from a situation that, like, I want to say the last threads of a situation where you were dependent on a system or another, and becoming that for yourself. I really feel this. And then at the bottom of the decks is the Hierophant and the Five of Wands. The Hierophant is a great teacher, a great guru, right? Also the Pope. That's what the Hierophant originally was called, the Pope. So the idea is it would connect you to spirit, it would show you the way. It would point the way to the center of the labyrinth, the center of you, point the way to God, ultimately, right? To know thyself. Who am I? Find God within, And he's pointing to a heart here. So following your heart will lead you to the center of the labyrinth where peace resides. There's a dove there, right? So it feels like there is definitely the Eight of Cups leading to the Hanged Man. This is an energy of walking away from drama and trauma to finding peace, inner peace, The Hierophant also, I talked about, getting a lot of information, downloads, that kind of thing with crown chakra opening, the Hanged Man. And you can clearly see that here with the Hierophant, right? But the Hierophant is the 5 of the major arcana, and the 5 of Wands is the 5 of fire, right? So this is like, in the 5s, we tend to get lost a little bit, which is why we need a guide in the first place. In the 0s or the 1s, we are at home. That's where we started out with. That's source. And in the 10s, we return home. And in the 5s, you're as far from home as you can be. You're lost. And that's why you need a guide, or you think you need a guide. Ultimately, you'll find, after going to guide after guide after guide, or process after process, that the only way to God is within you, right? So the 5s is where you need to make a change. You need to strategize. You need to get smart. You need to take control, right? And here you're taking control of your energy, your body, how you do work, changing how you do work. A lot of you, that's what I'm thinking, is walking away from a situation where you were dependent on someone else, and then you became dependent on yourself. All right, so let's get some advice cards for beautiful Taurus for mid-November to mid-December. Thank you. What advice do we have for Taurus? All right. Wow. All right, and let's use this deck as well. You have, okay. Oh, wow. All right. This 5 of Wands popped out again. So it wanted to stay in the reading. Normally I put the bottom of the deck cards back in. So it's saying this 5 of Wands is very important. Okay. 2 more for beautiful Taurus. Thank you. All right. So you have the Queen of Pentacles and the Princess of Pentacles and the High Priestess. So creative. The Queen of Pentacles is the creator of this world. She's Sophia Pistis, the creator of the demiurge that creates this universe. And then the Princess of Pentacles, which is being the energy of earth, feeling the energy of earth, embodying the energy of whatever it is that you're creating, be that. And so you are creating something out of what you feel. You're being told to feel what you want to create, to embody what you want to create, and to move forward in the creative process. Don't let anything stop you from being the creatrix of your life. The time is here. This boss up energy with the Kings and the Emperor tells me that you need to take control of your resources. All the pentacles are resources, right? And of your creative abilities. You can do this, I want to say, Taurus. And the High Priestess is really the counterpart of that Hierophant energy. She connects you to spirit too, but she connects you to your higher self, right? She connects you to all things, to the light codes of what it is that's being created before it manifests. So this is strong intuition, strong intuitive energy. And with the King of Cups and the Hanged Man there and the Hermit, like your intuition should be really lit up right now. You should be feeling things and knowing things before they happen, and if you're not, like, do the Hanged Man, like, just live in your breath, live in the light, right? Whatever it takes for you to connect to spirit, meditation, mantra, walking in nature, whatever it is. And then you have the 9 of Pentacles again, beautiful 9 of Pentacles again, with the Sun and the Judgment card. Fate, fate, fate. Fate, fate, fate. Fate train. fate train, Taurus. You have the Judgment card and the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a yod. You can see it. It's an angle on the astrological wheel. It's called a yod, or a finger of God, a finger of fate, you know? And it's pointing toward a fated change that's coming in, or that already came in, that you are processing. Because I'm not seeing like major change here other than what you're going to change yourself with the Eight of Cups. But this is it. This is the sign that you've been looking for, beautiful Taurus. This is the time. Divine timing has aligned with your tomorrow. Fate train. Doot, doot, doot. Doot, doot, doot. Fate train. This is not to be ignored, okay? Judgment calls you out of your casket. It wakes you up. It's an awakening. Judgment card with the Hanged Man in the same reading is you waking up. You waking up, you know, and the Sun card is that energy of enlightenment that I talked about, you know, waking up to the possibilities, waking up to your own abilities, your ability to create your world in your image. I want to say, you know, because the goddess Sophia keeps showing up to me. And also with the Five of Wands, this is competition. You know, the Five of Wands can be like people wanting to give you the evil eye, people wanting to copy you, people wanting to get in your way, people wanting to boss you around and tell you what to do, that kind of thing, you know, conflict, drama, trauma, whatever it is, you know, doesn't matter, doesn't mean anything. Be mindful that this is in the past. You have to let this go. You have to walk away from that. You know, that's part of walking away from what doesn't serve. And at the bottom of that deck, you have the Five of Cups, another 5. So you have 3 5s in your reading, which means change, 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 change. And so, you know, the other 5 is the Hierophant, right? So you have the Five of Wands, the Hierophant, and the 5 of Cups. And so, yeah, with the 8 of Cups, you're walking away from something that no longer serves. And hey, could be something that you really loved once, you know? And so in the Five of Cups, you see that energy, kind of like the need to turn that frown upside down. Realize that your true 2 cups is behind you. You can see the 2 cups behind you here, you know, while you're looking at these 3 spilt cups. No use crying over spilt milk, beautiful Taurus. You know, let that go. Let that stuff go. You know, and step into your creative future, your creative self. You know, you are born for this, and divine timing has aligned to give this to you now, you know, or for you to give this to yourself now with the Hermit and the 2 9s, you know, and 3 9s is release, by the way. 3 9s is an angel number that says release. So, with these 2 together, that's what the Hanged Man is. He is surrendering something. He's surrendering to change and releasing himself and walking away from what doesn't serve. So, you know. And then you have Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. So recognize that, I want to say. You know, like you should really feel that. I mean, I hope you feel excited for the future. Okay. And then Wombat Spirit. Be at home. You know. So given the choice to go out or to stay home, maybe you know, Spirit wants you to stay home, you know, take it as it resonates, but also work from home, be your own boss, that kind of thing as well. I feel for a lot of you. And then you have Rainbow Waterfall, miracles come true, miracles are happening. See the miracles, know that you are a miracle as well, you know. And then Elves, playfulness. Gosh, that's true. This is a very serious reading with a lot of serious energy, you know, so have fun with it. Be happy. You know, you have the Sun, you know, there's a lot of good stuff here. And I feel like you've been told to shine bright as well, like be a star, or to let other people see your light. And you have that here, like the Hermit shines his light for the world to see, you know? So be happy, be playful with it, you know, let your life unfold as it will, and then dance through it if you can, you know, like you have control of that, right? So thank you so much for being here, beautiful Taurus. Thank you for being you, and I'll see you next time. Peace.